This is Jill Simonello with Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, and this video falls under the category of now it's time for something completely different. This morning, we talked about the Ford Raptor R, which is a supercharged V8 pickup truck that's meant to go fast off-road in the desert and, across town pretty much simultaneously. General Motors was doing this. They launched the Chevrolet Blazer EV. So in this video, I'm just going to roll this B-roll in the background. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we know, which frankly isn't that much because they released some specs, but they didn't release a lot of specs. And the B-roll we have here is only of the top tier SS model, which is priced at $65,995. So that's going to be the top pricing for this Blazer EV. Base price is going to be $44,995, and that's for the 1LT model. Then for the 2LT trim, you're looking at $47,595, and then you're also going to have an RS, which starts at $51,995. And these vehicles are going to start rolling out sometime in the summer of 2023 as 2024 models. So the first thing you're going to notice looking at the exterior here is that this vehicle has a very distinct resemblance to the gasoline model. Now, obviously, this light bar is going to be different. That lit up bow tie and the light bar across the front. Taillights are going to look a little bit different. But the facade of the vehicle is remarkably similar. And I think that's kind of cool because if you saw the Silverado EV, that was very different than the regular Silverado. And so I don't know. I kind of like what they did here, kind of keeping it same in terms of styling. Now, because this is the SS trim, you'll also want to know that this has 557 horsepower, 648 pound-feet of torque, and 0 to 60 mile per hour times under 4 seconds. I think all of that is incredibly impressive. Because this is an all-electric vehicle, you're also going to want to know range. And, well, they've only given us one number, and this is going to be the best range possible. They're saying it will deliver up to 320 miles of range. Yeah, that's it. That's all we know about this. Okay, so transitioning into the interior again, this is an SS model. And you can see the SS badging. You can see some red accent pieces. I love the digital display. You've got the screen behind the wheel. Then you have the large display on the center stack. And I think it looks really good. You will see these in the LT as well as the RS trims. So they didn't change that. This carries through all of the models. I love the details. And hey, look at that. I think I see some buttons there as well as a volume knob. All of that is really good. In terms of charging specs, they really didn't give us much information there either. All they said is that you can add 78 miles of range in 10 minutes on a DC fast charger. That's all we got. So we don't know how fast it will be if you plug into a 110 jack at home. We don't know what level 2 charging is. We don't know much of anything. Another thing on the interior here that I want to point out is the gear shifter. It's on the steering column instead of having a gear stick that is on the center stack. So again, I want to say this is the SS trim. It has this beautiful red leather, and that is not standard, obviously, across all trims. And I did grab some photos from the press kit to pull up here in a minute so that we can take a look at some of the other trims. But yeah, this was the rolling footage we got. Let's see, I'll go ahead and pause that. So I'm trying to think if there are any other stats that you might want to know about these vehicles. The SS model does have 22-inch wheels. I think 19 inches are standard. The SS also has microfiber seat inserts and heated and cooled front seats. All of that is in the thumbs up category. But again, we don't really know much of anything else about the LT models or the RS. So speaking of, let's just pull this up really quick. This is going to be the LT exterior, and they didn't distinguish if this was LT1 or, the 1LT or the 2LT. They're just saying this is the LT exterior here. So you can see the grille is going to be a little bit different. It's not blacked out. It has more of the body colored front fascia to it. And you don't have the light bar, and your bow tie is gold. So kind of continuing to move through these. You do have nice wheels, but like I said, I think those are 19-inch wheels. Moving to the interior, you will see this is the digital display that goes all the way across. Again, same as the SS model. I think that is really nice. Pause this for a second because I want to point out that the not all models are going to be available in the summer of 2023. So your two models that are going to be available initially are going to be your 2LT and your RS. So your base model, the base model that's $44,000, not going to be available in the summer of 2023. It's just going to be your 2LT and your RS models. So we will continue playing through this. You see some more basic interior materials there as well. Okay, so this is going to be your RS trim. Again, you go back to a different grille. You have the blacked out treatment, but it's not quite as sporty as we saw on the SS. You do still have the light bar and the lit bow tie, but again, not as sporty looking as you see on the SS. This model will also be available in the summer of 2023. Moving to the interior of the RS model, you see red accents, though not all red. So in the SS B-roll, we saw the entire red leather interior. So this just has some stitching accents and some console accents. And the last thing that I wanted to point out here is this panel. This panel is very intriguing. I don't know that I've ever necessarily seen a full body panel that removes to reveal the charger before, or the charge port, I guess I should call it. But this has that. So I just thought it was really neat, and I believe it has a button that you push on the inside that will pop that open, and then you can plug in. You can see the top bit is for AC charger, and then where the orange pieces at the bottom, you can remove that, and that will be for DC fast charging. So I just wanted to do a little call out there as well, because I just thought that was interesting. So back to me. All right. So we talked about pricing, base price $44,995. You may recognize that that is exactly the same base price that the Mustang Mach-E has. However, the key difference is going to be this. General Motors no longer has a federal tax credit available. So that $7,500 tax credit that we talk so much about when you talk about electric vehicles, not available here. But it is, at least for the time being, still available on the Mustang Mach-E. I touched on this, but availability in the summer of 2024 is going to be your 2LT and I guess I should say summer of 2023 is going to be your 2LT and your RS model. Then later in 2023, you're going to get the SS model, but that base car, that base 1LT model is not going to be available until 2024. So maybe Ford will have run out of their tax credits by that time, and then you'll have more even pricing. I don't know. I don't know what the strategy there is. It always really bothers me when they don't come out with the base model first. But that is it. That is all I've got on the Blazer EV. I would love to know what you think. Do you like the fact that it looks a lot like the gasoline Blazer? Do you wish it looked a little bit different, kind of like the Silverado EV does? Are you happy with it? Do you like the range? It's 320 miles enough for a mid-size SUV. And yeah, let me know if you have any other questions. We'll try to answer them below. But like I said, we don't have a lot of details. This is about the sum of what we know. So that is all I have for you today. But thanks for watching, and I will see you down the road.